Howdy everyone. So for the three of you that don't know, cool and awesome left-wing YouTuber PhilosophyTube just came out as a trans woman in a powerful and optimistic video about her experiences being transgender last Saturday. And as a result, the trans community is having a field day with this awesome news for the community. And as a result, she's been getting a bunch of positive public messages come from this, because she's cultivated an audience of pro-trans fans. But there's been a few people who have been reacting to this in an unusual way, and one such example is Xanderhal. For full context, Xanderhal made some offhanded comments as aside jokes sometime around August that PhilosophyTube was probably secretly transgender, mostly because at the time in her videos she was portraying more female characters. She shaved her facial hair and started presenting slightly more feminine as well. So when Mrs. Tube came out on Twitter, Xanderhal came out, quote-tweeted the tweet, and called attention to the fact that he predicted this, and speculated that she might be a trans woman months ago, saying that he don't miss. And there are a few problems with this. Firstly, being trans is kind of extremely difficult to do, especially online, since trans people get not a small amount of hate for trying to exist. The same dynamic is true for a lot of LGBTQ identities, since there are still a wide proportion of people who are not at all friendly towards the LGBTQ+ community, to the point where if people even suspect someone of identifying as any LGBTQ+ identity, then that person will probably receive a lot more hate and harassment as a result, especially if that person is a public figure, especially if that person is a political YouTuber. Not to mention that speculating about whether a cis-presenting person is actually trans is super intrusive. You don't have a right to know, you don't have any reason to ask that question, and it doesn't benefit you one way or the other, and it just makes the other person feel either A, irritated at best that you think wrongly that they're secretly transgender, or B, threatened that they might have been betrayed by one of their friends who they trusted to not spill the secret. Once this was pointed out to Xanderhal, he decided to defend himself by deflecting to the point that the r/LGBT subreddit has been doing this for months. And apart from the fact that this is an oppressed group of LGBT people looking for representation in the media that they consume, so there's some credibility and justification for them to want more positive trans representation in the YouTube community, I still think that that's not wholly justifiable either. It's one thing to speculate upon the characters in the YouTuber's content, the cosmonaut, the arsonist, and another to speculate on the actor or actress behind it. The latter is still an intrusion of the private life of someone who was not ready to make it public yet. This is somewhat similar to what happened to Cavetown. Cops Hate Mo has a pretty good video on the Cavetown situation, go watch it here, link in the description. But to simplify and put it concisely, an undercover trans celebrity was forced to out himself as transgender, since someone had brought up the fact that they had said the T-slur numerous times in the past. And that's not a good look for a cis male celebrity. And as a result, Cavetown was pressured into making a decision. Would he rather be seen as a transphobic cis man, or would he rather out himself as transgender? Spoilers, since I'm talking about it now, he came out as a trans man. This isn't to say that Xanderhal is the same as that person trying to out Cavetown. I don't think Xanderhal's offhanded comments forced Mrs. Tube's hand, nor do I think they forced her to come out by any means. But that being said, to do so publicly on your social media platform is a bit irresponsible at best and dangerous at worst. And it certainly doesn't help Xander's case that he has an audience of about 61,000 YouTube subscribers at time of recording. So what does this all mean? Essentially, I think that on the surface level, Xanderhal did a very weird and very cringy thing that warrants a bunch of mild to moderate criticism, some form of slap on the wrist, as if to say, trying to assert that a public figure is trans for no discernible reason, regardless of whether it's a joke or not, is a kind of very intrusive and insensitive thing to do. And that doesn't mean that Xanderhal is a very bad transphobic person or anything, because he's advocated for a lot of pro-trans causes and stuff like that. But what it does mean is that Xanderhal did a very weird and very cringy thing that warrants a bunch of mild to moderate criticism. Anyway, short video this week, thanks for watching till the end. If you like my content, be sure to like this video, comment to let me know you liked it to fuel my fragile ego, and subscribe to my channel for more. Also feel free to donate to my Patreon, link in the description for that. Also follow my socials for cool posts such as this one, stay safe, and as always, have a good